And do you know what? Sure enough, okay, so I had this plan. I said, okay, in August, I'm gonna reintroduce photography back into my services. I'm gonna reintroduce it. So there were a few other little steps that I wanted to do before I did that. But come around June, I hadn't even put the word out yet. I just started getting inquiries, and then I started taking clients again, photography clients, and then now I take them on regularly. For me, I still find it super amazing that when you make the decision to do something and things start falling into place for you with not a lot of effort, it's like mind-blowing. So what I'm really trying to say is that things really did come full circle, and there was a time where it was rough. It was hard to make that decision, and then once that decision it was done, it felt like so good, so uplifting, and I'm happy with what I do. It doesn't mean that learning has stopped. It just means that now when I learn things and I know 100% that I'm channeling all of that into myself and what I'm building, it's very exciting. You know, there's nothing, it's like nothing can stop you because you know where it's going, and you know where you want it to go. So in short, after serving others, I decided to serve myself, and that was this year. I use my social media to teach others to build their brand. I use my social media to connect with just such good clients. I know that in the freelance world, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, why do you want to deal with clients, da 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 da. But for me, because of the way social media is set up, by the time people approach you, they already know you, they already know your work. And by the time I speak with them, I don't fear that they don't like what I do because they've already seen it. So I use my social media to connect with the right clients for me and me for them. And at the same time, I have a source of passive income. So having learned how the internet works, and this is like so interesting to talk about because I don't think I've ever really talked about, I don't think I've taken a dive this deep into this topic, but it's true. The internet provides so many opportunities, and so yeah, one of them is that I've found out a way to create passive income from this one space. And it's one space, but it's a very diverse space, and I'm glad for that. So with that all said, I'm so glad that I had a genuine curiosity around the internet. The reason I say this is because it's helped me connect with so many more people. It's helped me build relationships faster, I think, because when you put yourself out there, I mean, let's be honest, it does require some vulnerability. You know, I think the idea of putting yourself out there can be quite scary. But at the time, I didn't really think because I didn't really have any other options. So it's kind of like out of desperation. I mean, not really. I always say that as a joke, but I think it was out of desire that I decided to look into the internet. And when I had all that free time on my hands, I would just go down this rabbit hole of like Googling things like, how did things work on the internet? Who are these e-commerce personalities who are making a living, and how are they doing it from a beach or from a hotel? Like, what were they doing? So I actually had a genuine curiosity as to how people were living like a new life. I think as well with social media like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, those are my main platforms, and I'm about to get into Pinterest. But understanding these things has taught me so much about modern day marketing, and not just taught me, but I'm in the practice of it all the time. And I used to teach this to corporates back then, and now I'm able to reach those who kind of need that leverage for themselves as people because they have small businesses or medium businesses and don't have the budget of like the corporate world. I'm glad I had that curiosity around social media and this world of possibilities because yeah, it's put me in the practice of marketing and sales inadvertently. If you have knowledge and practice around marketing and sales, I feel like you could do anything, really, because all businesses survive because of marketing and sales. And a lot of people don't like the idea of sales especially, or marketing, because whatever, but there's a way to do it authentically. And that's the thing that I've loved about like this whole space, is that I haven't had to change who I am, or if anything, it's clarified my purpose and what I'm even doing here to begin with, all completely in alignment with my values and my intentions. And to top it off, I get to work from anywhere. Okay, so 5 years down the track, now when I talk about this, a lot of people will say, oh, Christine, but you're so lucky. You already have a foot in the door. You've already got your social media. You've already got what you've built. But I'm like, yeah, but I started from zero. Started from zero. I had zero everything. I had zero knowledge. I had zero success, right? Because I had no knowledge and I had nothing to do. So I had zero success. I had zero subscribers. So there was no community here. I had zero clients and I had zero business and zero business knowledge. I was at zero. Like, we could go as far down that zero as zeros go, but that's where I started. But the thing with me is that I've always set my goals to revolve around the experiences that I want to have, not the other way around. I think the thing that worked well over the last 5 years is that instead of deciding that I need a career, I decided first what I wanted, which was I wanted freedom, and I needed to define what freedom really meant for me. For me personally, freedom means being able to do work that I love from where I want to do it. Freedom for me is not actually avoiding work and trying to not do any work. For me, freedom is knowing what I love to do and being paid to do it, and also to do it from somewhere that I want to do it from. So for me, like, I love the sunshine, I love beautiful spaces. So for me, like, when I think of freedom, there's no better idea than me create beautiful things in a beautiful setting and photograph them, because I love to do that. So that is what freedom is to me. It often includes travel as well. Like, I love to get in the car and go places. So to be able to do that when I want to, or to create a schedule that looks like that, like I can do that, I feel free. If I were to rewind and just say, okay, what is freedom? It's doing what I love and where I want to do it. What that meant for me was I had to identify, what options do I have? What career paths offer that? What career paths offer a flexible schedule and would actually need me to get in a car to get places? And so I actually started narrowing them down. So that's why I started off with a social media agency, because I knew that would allow me to work remotely and play on my strengths. I wasn't too sure yet what I loved to do. Even though I had dabbled in photography in bits and pieces in the past and had monetized it, I wasn't yet sure that was my path, because there are a few things that I didn't love about it. Like, when you're a photographer, you do work very long hours, and for me, like, I'm not yet at the stage where I have assistants to carry all of my equipment. And one of the things that I remember when I first started was how much equipment I had to lug around with me everywhere I went, and that wasn't attractive to me. And at the time I was focused on the things that I didn't love, but that's because I hadn't tasted enough things to be like, actually, that's not bad. To lug around all of the equipment to get to this venue and do everything else that I want, it's so worth it. The bottom line is that it's really important to know what you want, because whatever you put your actions and focus to, that's what you're going to end up building, whether you mean to or not. And always remember, your mind can only focus on one thing at a time. I've learned that over this period. I can either focus on the cons or the pros, or I can focus on my goals or the things that hold me back from my goals. But your brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing. So choose wisely. And in fact, choose. Just choose so that it's intentional. Here's the thing. A lot of people will say, I want freedom, but I don't want to have to learn a lot of things. Or they'll say, I want freedom, but I don't want to spend all of this money and time doing courses. And that's fair enough. I mean, if you don't want to learn new things because you associate learning with hardship or failure, or just don't like it, it might just not be desirable for you. But always remember, when you deprive yourself of learning, you also deprive yourself of the possibility to get to where you want to be. If you deprive yourself of the idea of starting at the beginning and starting from zero or starting from nothing, then you also deprive yourself of the opportunity of actually getting somewhere that you care about. So you really have the option. Do you start from zero and go somewhere that you care about, or do you stay where you are but stay there for a very long time, for an unknown amount of time, and then just get frustrated? It's a choice. At the end of the day, you can choose what to focus on. You can focus on your real goals, you know, your definition of freedom, your definition of travel, your definition of what's important to you, or you can focus on the things that hold you back and why it's not worth it. What's in between what you want, like your dream life, your happiness, your success, and where you currently are, or the starting point, what's in between there is, it's time. It's just time. So the sooner you make a decision to try something or to do something, the more you bridge that gap. Like, imagine it's just one step at a time. And for, like, imagine 5 years. I mean, that's longer than a degree. But I think what I've gotten out of this is is very deep. It's contentment. It's a future. It is happiness. It is my own path. So if I had to go through it again, I would. I'd probably struggle a little less because I kind of know how it works out, you know, after the 5-year mark. So in summary, this is what I've learned so far. I've learned that it's worth to start from zero. It's worth it. And it's definitely worth taking the steps to grow and go somewhere and discover what it is that you care about. It's worth it. It doesn't matter how old you think you are, how young you think you are. So I'm turning 35 this year, and I could be 45 or 55 or 65, but I honestly think that for as long as you're alive, it's worth discovering what matters to you and then going there. I've also learned that it's really important to rest when you feel tired. In this conscious journey of where do you want to go, oh, this is where I want to go, but maybe not, sometimes you get tired because you're on your toes, like nothing is comfortable. You know that one job, that job that you had where everything was comfortable and you knew everything and you were a professional, that's not this place. You are often out of your comfort zone, but don't ever feel guilty about resting. Like I took a break. I took a number of breaks and I just did them. It was actually through those moments that I wasn't actively trying to get anything. I was just chilling out. It was through those times which gave me a lot of clarity because it's like my brain had space to receive new ideas, to actually have time to reflect. Is this a yes? Is this a no? It gave me time to filter. Like, don't ever feel guilty if you're like, oh man, this is the 5th thing that I've tried and it's still not it. It sucks. Because all of those things come to play. I think what plays a big role in the direction that you end up going is the more credit you give your intuition. I think for a long time I didn't give my intuition and what I knew was fun for me. It's like I still, like at the beginning of this year, I've got to admit, I still could not believe that I could make a living from the things that I find fun. Like what? How crazy is that? I literally thought that I had to experience way more hardships. I laugh at it now because I'm like, well, like why? It's because like for me, what people pay me for is my talent. It's things that I'm good at that come easily to me. But I just thought to myself, because they came easily to me, that I surely couldn't make money off it. Like, I don't know why I was thinking that. So for a long time, my intuition was saying, hey, Christine, you can do this. You should do it. I got all the signs, but I just didn't. I just believed that I needed to experience hardship in order to feel success. And then things started to unfold. You know, I started to experience things where I'm like, that's still a no, that's still a no. And I was like, why do I keep coming back to this photography and styling and blogging thing? And I was like, man, because that's what you wanted your whole life. So just go there. And then I started looking at how other creatives operated, very successful creatives. And they're the ones who truly just tapped into an existing strength or talent that they already had, that they kept on harnessing over time. And it was them, the more tapped in they were, the sooner they were able to be more successful. And that's what I found is happening to me at the moment. And it still blows me away. Like, I even find it hard to say because I think like, am I bragging or... But please know that there is no intention to brag here. It's just an intention to report what happens when you tap in to like who you are and what your purpose is. The other thing is, I guess where I am now, I'm still very much in the midst of building something. I mean, does the building ever really stop? You build, you might rest, then you build some more, then who knows? Some people build continuously and that's how they are. I'm a kind of person who really values diversity in my activities. Some people call it balance, like balance in work life. But for me, balance is only necessary when you feel like you're out of whack or you're not getting parts of your other life that you value. Like for me, that would be gardening, cooking, spending time with friends and family, spending time dancing, spending time walking my dog, and working, doing something that I love in my work. I guess decorating our home and shopping for clothes because I love shopping. For me, that's my definition. That's how I like to live my life. That's the balance that I have. And so I happily go at this steady pace because I know where I am now and I know where I want to go, and I keep those other elements in my life intact because those are the elements, all of those elements combined are the things that help me really, really, really enjoy the journey. And some people will say, well, if you want success faster, then you should watch less TV or just don't go shopping. And that's, that might be their way, and maybe their desire is to to get to where they want to be faster, and maybe they don't find it as important to be gardening and cooking in the kitchen as much as I do, but those things already bring me joy. So I think if you're a kind of person who is aware of the things that bring you joy, then create pockets of time, make pockets of time to be able to do them so that you can at least enjoy your journey. I mean, what is a journey to success if that whole entire journey you're like feeling crap? And you know, just like all of those yucky feelings, and you're hating it, and you're tired, and you're exhausted, and you're cranky, and all of your relationships are falling apart. Like, what's that journey to success if all of the other areas of your life that you enjoy are not working? For me, it's really important to enjoy. Like, if I know that I love to cook, then why would I not cook? Would I not cook because if I spend more time over here that I'll make more money, but then I'll be less happy because you know, maybe I'll afford to be able to pay a chef, but maybe I want to cook, who knows? All I know is this: the more you know yourself and the things you love to do, and the more you create freedom for yourself to be able to do those things, then the more you can actually enjoy your journey. And I say you, but I'm really saying me. Like, these are the thoughts and feelings and experiences that I've had over the last 5 years. And the beginning felt grueling, but it does get easier. It does. Trust me, it does. But don't mistake that it gets easier for the fact that like you're not gonna learn anymore. You're just gonna get used to learning, and that's gonna be like the way that you are. So I want to end with this: whatever you're interested in, whatever your passions are, don't ever take them for granted, because don't be like me, I mean, and waited all of these years to pursue that passion and turn it into something that makes money. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I actually think that that's what we're built on this earth for, that we have these passions and these hobbies, and that we can use them to be sustainable, and not just sustainable, but to flourish. I really believe that. So don't take your passions for granted, because where there is a will, there is a way. The other thing I want to say is that this video is not supposed to say, hey, everyone should start their own business, because it's not for everyone. Like, going freelance or starting your own business is definitely not everyone's cup of tea. It's different. Like, yeah. So this video is not about that, but if you are interested in going freelance, let's say you're a creative and you just want to experience more of what you love and get better at what you do, but also get paid for it in a way that you feel is fair or abundant or both, then my hot tip is this, and you might not even like it, but it's a necessity, I think anyway. Start to get to know marketing and sales. And now I'm learning things about money. It's important. When you know about marketing and sales, these are the two key things which causes all businesses to flourish. Like, no talent, no product can be profitable without sales. And that might sound like, oh, Christine, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Remember, don't focus on the things that you don't want to do. Focus on the things that you want to achieve. And then this is just part of the package. I'm just telling you this to give you a heads up that I'm very glad that I got into the world of the internet and started really practicing my skills in marketing and sales, because knowing what I know now, I feel as though, like, this is just an opinion, but I feel as though if you know those two things and you want to be independent and you want to create your own way of life, then you can pretty much do anything. You don't need to know everything about it. You don't have to be an amazing gun at it today, but if you just know enough to understand how it works, then you put yourself like up the top there. Just think about it this way, right? Think of your favorite product that you like to buy, or the favorite food that you like to order, or your favorite, whoever, like a person who served you because you hired them. Think about this. If they had never marketed themselves to reach you and never made an attempt to sell to you, then how are you as a consumer able to enjoy that product or that service or that person? Sales and marketing is actually a very, very necessary thing, not just for you to be able to get out there, but for anything that you've loved, that you've been able to consume and buy. They've only been able to do that because they did their part, which was the sales and marketing part. So yeah, if you're interested in freelancing or doing something of your own, then it is probably, for me, it's a great thing to know about. And the best thing is, like, in this world of social media, you can do it as authentically as you can. Like, it's like the best salespeople aren't slimy and gross and trying to what is it? They're not trying to take you for, what's that saying? I don't know. When they're not trying to take you for a run, take your money for a run, I don't know. They're not trying to scam you. That's what I'm trying to say. The best salespeople are not scammers. The best salespeople are those who are able to communicate what they can do for you and how they can help you and then deliver on it effectively. They're the best salespeople if you just look across the board. But anyway, this isn't a talk about that. This is a talk about what you need to do to get some leverage to be able to create the life that you want. Yeah. So that's my update for the 5 years. It's been a journey of self-discovery, and I'm glad to have had the opportunity to do it. And I'm really, really excited to see what the next year brings. Am I gonna do a 6th year check-in? People are gonna be like, Christine, get over it. They're gonna say like, let go of your career. Like, I have let go of it. I just think that you just never really see anyone's journey of what they did after that thing that they did for a very long time. Like, I don't know, I think it's valuable. Enough of me talking. You tell me about you. Have you ever experienced this? Have you ever been made redundant? Have you ever thought about a career change? And what did you do about it? How did you find the experience? I know that I'm not the only one, because a lot of people have reached out to me saying that they've experienced it too, and it's typically within the cabin crew world. But whether or not you're cabin crew, you know, feel free to share it. Feel free to share it. I'd love to know how everything panned out for you. I'd love to hear success stories, actually. If you've got a success story and you love what it is that you do, like, I'd love to hear where you came from and what got you to where you are today. Pop it in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give me a like. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you have any comments or questions, please pop them in the comment section down below. See you in the next episode. Bye. 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 Sometimes I think about turning this into a podcast, but then I also think I can't be bothered. Christine, but focus on the things that you want to achieve rather than things that you don't want to do. It still applies.